Is Nick Chubb built for the Texans offensive line?
That would be Sarge.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You're tuning to the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast live this morning, bright and early. I told y'all I was going to start doing these type of things with y'all, right? Y'all see I got my coffee too. Y'all want to have some coffee with me? See what it says? My brain has too many tabs open. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are subscribed to the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast and YouTube channel, all one word. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And good morning, Derek. Hey, appreciate the kind words. I definitely appreciate the kind words. Good morning, Marcus. Good morning, Romanus. Man, I need some coffee this morning. I straight overslept. How do you oversleep for work? You got a cell phone that probably costs $2,000. It got it got some alarms on it, man. We can't be oversleeping for work, man. Wait. Unless you work from home, then that's different. If you work from home, that's totally different. But so before I even get this thing started, right? Let me say this. Before I got 25% of the Texans fan base mad at me right now because my opinion on Nick Chubb, and just let me go ahead and I guess make it up to 50%. But before I do that, let me say this. I meant to say this on Sunday's show, and I didn't get an opportunity to say it. I want to give a special shout out to Houston Texans special teams coach Frank Ross for putting on his 4th annual coaches cut over at Covenant House. He was over there, him and a couple of the barbers who cut the Houston Texans players' hair came out to cut some of the residents over at the Covenant House at their new facility. The new facility is amazing. It is by far one of the best facilities I've seen in a long time. I'm glad that they were able to upgrade that. And so you had Frank Ross out. You had a lot of the rookies, the majority of the rookie class, the 2025 rookie class was out at the event. You had Mario Edwards came out. Jared Wayne was out there. I'm just trying to remember some of the veterans that was there. Yeah, Mario Edwards, Aziz Al-Shire was there. Xavier Johnson was there. Jared Wayne was there. I'm trying to think. It may have been one more person that I may be missing, but I know that they were out there. But a special shout out to them, to the whole Houston Texans organization who helped Frank in doing that 4th annual coaches cut. They also had HCC students out there from their oh my God, what is the I can't think of what is the school that you go to, the beauty school, but it has a name. The beauty school has a name where they learn how to do manicure, pedicures, how they learn how to do hair. Oh my God, what am I missing? Can somebody help me out? I can't think of the word that I'm looking for as far as their school is concerned, but they had those students out. They had cosmetology. Thank you, Romanus. They had the cosmetology students out there helping out. They also had I can't remember the name of the company, but they had a company out there that was giving them free neck and shoulder massages, and they also were doing facials. And then Olive Garden provided the food. Olive Garden provided the food for the event. And every time I get a chance to go to these types of events, special shout out also to Houston Texans defensive end Will Anderson Jr., who was who partnered with HEB to give away $56,000 to the Houston Food Bank to help feed families. That also occurred on Friday. They donated $1,000 for every sack that the Houston Texans defense had in 2025, and they had 49 regular season sacks that broke their franchise record, and then they had 7 sacks in the postseason, which brought them to a total of 56 sacks, and they got $56,000 donated to the Houston Food Bank. And so Will, Toro, a couple of the Houston Texans cheerleaders, and Will's family, his mother, his sister, even his nieces were out packing up food into boxes to be able to give to senior citizen living facilities. And so, you know, Friday was just a day of giving back for the Houston Texans. I really like going to those type of events. You know, I tell people all the time, if you're going to be in this business, you can't just show up at the games. You can't just show up at you can't just show up at the games, or you can't just show up at the practices. You can't just show up at the press conferences and expect to develop some type of chemistry or rapport with some of these players, good, bad, or indifferent, whether you know, whether you whether you're trying to, whatever you're trying to establish. If I had to give out any information, to not only just young and up and coming aspiring media members, not just sports, but media members in general, but if I had to give out any information to any advice to young aspiring media members or some of the older media members, I would say this: you have to be able to develop a rapport, because those players remember who come to those type of events. And if you show up at those type of events with a genuine heart, what's going on now? If you show up with a, you know, with no ill intentions, and you're just showing up to be there to support, let me put it like that, to support. When I went to Jalen Petrie's football camp, I showed up to support. Jalen knew that. I wasn't there for anything else but just to support Nico Collins, to support. Later on this month, I'll be in Georgia at Will Anderson Jr.'s second annual football camp in his hometown. He has a football camp that he does like on the opposite field of where he played Little League football. And so it was crazy because last year he did it, and then Shaquille O'Neal had a motorcycle event for officers who had lost their lives in the line of duty. So Shaq had a motorcycle ride, and they ended up, Shaq and Will Anderson ended up meeting each other. I was like, wow, you got two stars right here working together. So I say that to say this: going to those type of events kind of pulls at my heartstrings a little bit, because I don't know if anybody else thinks this way. I know I do. I think this way, that I'm only 3 occurrences away from being in an unfortunate situation. Unfortunate situation. Give me 1 second. Some of us can relate to that. You're only 3 occurrences away from being in an unfortunate situation. And so I pray every day, and I thank, you know, I thank God every day for putting me in a position to be able to help, to give back. Because, and like I said, I'm gonna get started. Look, I'm gonna give y'all I'm gonna give you Houston Texans fans an opportunity to either stay pissed off at me or get pissed off at me about my Nick Chubb take. I'm cool with that. But one of the reasons why things like what Frank Ross did with the coaches cut over at the Covenant House, and last year he did it out of Julian's barbershop, Empire Barber Studios. He did it out of that, where he just actually Frank just went and found people that were on the street that needed help and brought them in, got them haircuts, got them dental, got them clothes, got them. Oh, they gave him clothes too. I forgot that. The other day, clothes, bags, gift cards, flowers to the ladies that was there. They brought out a whole bunch of stuff for. There was a young lady that's at Covenant House that had a newborn, and no, not a newborn, a 1-year-old, excuse me, that they helped out. And so one of the reasons why that touches me so much is because I've been homeless twice in my life. And so homeless, I was homeless twice, and not because, well, I was in an unfortunate situation, right? Two unfortunate situations. And I could have left and, stayed with my mom who was living at the time. I could have went back to mom's house, but I was just like, pride and ego got in the way. Fortunate for me, I got a line brother, fraternity brother who loves me, say, hey man, you can't keep sleeping in your car. You can come sleep on this couch over here. I got room over here. I got a big floor and a big couch for you to come stay in. Can come live on right here. So 2 times in my life. And so anytime I have an opportunity, because I donated, excuse me, I made sure that my wife and I donated to Frank's cause to give back. So anyway, and I'm not trying to get too sentimental with you all, but this is me, right? This is me, and this is me. This is my platform. I'm going to do these type of things. I'm going to talk about these type of things, and moving into the summer, I'm going to be doing a lot more. So y'all be on the lookout for Sarge doing a lot. I got some things coming up that I think that you all are going to like me, especially with my book coming out. So with that being said, right? With that being said, we all know about the news that if Nick has been reported that if Nick Chubb passes his physical on today, which is Monday, that if he passes his physical, the Houston Texans will probably sign him to a 1-year deal. And so on Sunday show, which is available right now, if you're subscribed to the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast, and if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you can go over there and you can see the show from yesterday. I said that one of the major concerns for me in signing Nick Chubb was his injury history over the last 2 years, with him tearing up his knee in 2023 and with him breaking his foot 6 months ago. That is a major concern for me. Another major concern is he's older. He's older than your starter, and an older running back who has that type of injury history, then I don't know if I'm, if I would be comfortable. Hey, what's up, Queen? What's up, Texas Tangent? I don't know if I would be comfortable with signing him, even if it's just for a backup situation. And once I play this video from yesterday's show, you all are going to get a little bit more into why I feel about that. But what I also feel could be beneficial for the Houston Texans if they sign Nick Chubb, right? If Nick Chubb passes his physical and is signed by the Houston Texans, I could see that. But let's jump into this video real quick, and I want you all to get an idea on I want you all to get an idea on what I'm thinking. Excuse me, on what was said. Where is this? Hold on one second. Let me pull this thing up, y'all. This is what I said during yesterday's Texas Tailgate Talk live show. Who's going to be coming in and who's going to be learning? He's going to be on a brand new team, brand new offense, New offensive lineman. You think the Houston Texans have enough on the offensive line to make Nick Chubb keep him upright? Hell, a better question is: how good do you think this offensive line is going to be for Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon is able to make himself. Joe Mixon is able to get himself out of trouble. We've seen it on multiple occasions where he's able to get himself out of trouble. Last season, when the Houston Texans had one of the worst offensive line. How confident are you in the Texans offensive line this year? How confident are you in the running game? Because what you're telling me, and those people who say sign Nick Chubb up, they want Nick Chubb, they want Nick Chubb. You got a young man that's coming off these injuries, and now you're going to put him behind this. Hell, the Texans don't even know what they're going to do at offensive line yet. What if I told you all? There's only one thing that we know about the Houston Texans offensive line, and that's Titus Howard is going to start somewhere. Titus Howard is going to start somewhere on the line. That's the only certainty that you have about this Houston Texans offensive line. Everything else is a crapshoot. And now you're going to bring in, and you want Nick Chubb to be 2022 Nick Chubb, and you want him to run behind Cam Robinson. Hell, y'all don't even know what Cam Robinson is going to do yet. You don't know what Laken Tomlinson is going to do. Side note, let me see how to pronounce this dude. How do you pronounce? I can't pronounce Tommy's last name, the defensive tackle, Tommy Taga. Oh, shoot. I have to get my other paper that got his name on there. Tommy T, number 72. Told Laken Tomlinson ass up in OTAs. It's another story for another time. But you don't know what you got in Cam Robinson. You don't know what you got in Laken Tomlinson. You're getting Jared Patterson. You got Juice Scruggs, but then you got Ed Ingram. You're going to get Trent Brown back. You got Blake Fisher. Because if the Houston Texans are still trying to figure it out, if the Houston Texans, are still trying to figure it out as far as the offensive line is concerned, then what do you think is going to have to happen in that running game? Joe has run behind a bad offensive line. He did that last year and made the Pro Bowl. So you can count on him being able to make something out of nothing. You're asking a running back that you haven't seen be highly effective in 2 years to come in and play behind this offensive line that you don't even know what it's going to be. Now, if the Texans are signing Nick Chubb as a chess piece, like I said, if Nick Caserio is going to use that Cam Akers blueprint, then I understand. If they're bringing Nick Chubb in here because they see a lot of Nick Chubb and Woody Marks, and they want to bring Nick Chubb in here so he could help develop Woody Marks, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. If Nick Chubb is going to come in and be the big vet for Woody Marks and help develop him, I'm all for it. But I'm not for it right now. I'm not for Nick Chubb coming in being the backup running back to Joe Mixon. I'm not. I'm not. Some of you all who on here, you're single, right? You're single. Dang, what did I do? All right, so I can't give y'all. Look, y'all would have had to been part of the rest of the show to find out what my single analogy was. Like, and that's why you got to subscribe to the Texas Tailgate Talk YouTube channel, because now you want to know where I was going with that. But the only way to find that is to go and watch the show from Sunday. So the reason why I played that video, right? The reason why I played that video, and I'm going to start by saying this. The one thing that is hard to do sometimes is hard to talk to fans, right? And what I mean by fans, when you are a diehard fan of your team, sometimes it's hard for you to be objective, right? You find them far and in between and very rare. Like there's some of them are very rare, but then you do have some people out there who love their team and just they don't they don't want you to say anything bad about it. They don't want you to say anything to they don't want you to say anything bad about their team. They want you to keep it fluffy roses all the time, man. You know, in the immortal words of the great Negro poet Andre 3000, when he says, "I know you like to think your don't stink, but lean a little bit closer, see that roses really smell like boo boo." Like sometimes you all got to realize the roses look beautiful, but what do you think fertilizes the roses? So sometimes, you got to take the good and you got to take the bad. Listen, I make no qualms about me being a Dallas Cowboys fan, right? I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan and I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. I have been a Dallas Cowboy fan since 1975. Now, I'm probably one of the most I'm probably a Cowboy fan that you're never going to run across on a consistent basis because I'm one of the ones that's real. Let me tell you something. This last combine, right? This last NFL combine, me and I can't think of Clarence's last name. What's Clarence, y'all, that covers the Dallas Cowboys, been covering the Dallas Cowboys for eons. Clarence and I got into a back and forth because Clarence was trying to take up for Dak Prescott, and I said, "You have got to be kidding me." I said, "You can say that about you have a little bit more insight because you covered that team, but don't talk to me like I don't know how things work because you're talking to a fan and a media member. So don't try to talk to me. Don't fan talk me about Dak Prescott. Don't start pumping up numbers to me when I'm watching the game, when I know that a lot of Dak's numbers comes from the fact that they're behind. Like, don't talk to me like I didn't see Dak against Green Bay wet the bed. Oh man, look at the numbers that he had. Yeah, that's because he put the team in a terrible situation from the get-go. I'm a fan that's going to tell you, hell no, I don't believe that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl every year. Hell, I can name you 5 teams that's better than the Dallas Cowboys right now. If you get a chance and an opportunity to speak with DJ Bieneme, ask him what I said about the Dallas Cowboys last year. I said the Dallas Cowboys are going to be the 3rd best team in the NFC East, and that's barely above the New York Giants. And who was the best team in the NFC East last year? The Philadelphia Eagles, which I told them would be, and the Washington Commanders, which I told them would be. I'm not one of those fans who just love my team no matter what. No. The Dallas Cowboys had the same opportunity to go after Nick Chubb as well. I didn't want Nick Chubb for the Dallas Cowboys either. I don't. So what I'm saying is this is that a lot of you Texans fans who are mad at me for my take on Nick Chubb would say the exact same thing if it wasn't your team. I'm not saying this because the Houston Texans ain't my team. I'm not speaking from a fan's perspective. I'm speaking from a media perspective. I'm speaking from a football perspective. I'm speaking from watching football, a football perspective. And it's just my opinion at the end of the day. Now, I don't have anything that's factual. So the only facts that I have that's forming my opinion, the facts that are forming my opinion, I don't like the injury history and I don't like the age. Those are the 2 things that I don't like about signing Nick Chubb. Some of you all are flooding my timeline talking about, oh, well, he could be a good red zone back. Hell, Joe Mixon is one of the best red zone backs in the NFL right now. One of the reasons why the Houston Texans wanted Joe Mixon was because of his effectiveness in the red zone. So you're going to use Joe Mixon to get you all the way down the field and then bring in Nick Chubb? How do you think that's going to play out with Joe Mixon? Now, like I said in the video, if you're going to bring in Nick Chubb in order to mentor a running back like Woody Marks, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But other than that, I don't care about the workout videos. I don't. I work out 6 to 7 times a week. I'm in the gym. I see some pretty strong guys that I know are non-athletic. Not saying that's Nick Chubb, but what I'm saying is the weight room videos don't impress me. The squats don't impress. That don't even impress me with Saquon. They don't impress me with Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm not impressed by weight room videos. I don't care that he jumped and touched the ceiling. He still has to get on that field and play the game. That's what I need to see. So if he gets signed, I need to see him playing in training camp. I need to see him playing in preseason. I need to know if he can still be effective. I need to know if he could still take a hit. I need to know if he could still cut. So my thing is, right now, since we're talking about it right now because it's happening in real time, I'm looking at, hey man, look at the the man tore up his knee in the second week of 2023. He missed the first 3 to 4 games in 2024, played 8 games and was not effective, and then broke his foot. That's what I'm saying. Like, we haven't seen Nick Chubb play real effective football in 2 years. That's all I'm saying. If you can get 75% of the 2022 Nick Chubb, I'm all for it. Other than that, you cannot fault me for having concerns because I'm giving you facts. I'm not giving you opinions on that. I'm giving you facts. He has an injury history. He's 29 years old, going on 30. He's a running back in the NFL. What is the lifespan of an effective older running back? Just like I said on the show on Sunday, and I got to clip that up because I got to put it out. If this was Adrian Peterson we was talking about at this age, even with that injury, I'd be like, oh, I'm not worried about nothing. Hell, Adrian Peterson is the Black Panther. Adrian Peterson was born in Wakanda. He wasn't born in Texarkana. He was born in Wakanda. Adrian Peterson got vibranium in his blood. He does. He's the only person that I can see bouncing back from things like that as a running back. So with that being said, right? With that being said, in that video, in the title of our morning live as we drink coffee, is Chubb built for Texans offensive line? In the video, I said Joe Mixon ran behind the worst offensive line in the NFL last season. Hell, and they had a Pro Bowl on that. And Joe Mixon made the Pro Bowl. But there's too much uncertainty coming into this season. You got a brand new offensive line coach who knows the game. Who I've spoken to a lot of people, and they have a lot of confidence in Cole Popovich. And listen, I can understand that. I've been watching him. I've been talking to people I know. So Cole Popovich is going to implement as much as he can up to the point of actually just being on the field with everybody else. So, with that being said, you look at last year when Joe Mixon ran behind that line that wasn't really good, and he still made the Pro Bowl. That's because he was able to make something out of nothing, right? So he understands that he's playing with a new offensive line. Everybody is pretty much is going to be either new or going in, still very young in their careers, right? Except for Titus Howard. Like I said, the only certain thing that we know is that Titus Howard is going to play somewhere on that line. But with the new additions that the Houston Texans have on that offensive line this year, I'm not talking about the years of experience in the NFL. I'm not talking about the years of experience that these guys have in the NFL. I'm talking about, do you know exactly what they're going to do in a Nick Caley offense? You can't know what they're going to do in a Nick Caley offense because you haven't seen Nick Caley call a play. So you don't know. So everybody is going to be learning on the fly, right? Right. So one thing that you do know is that Joe Mixon can run behind any line. You don't know that Nick Chubb can. We went over Nick Chubb's stats on Sunday, right? In 2024, when he finally did get an opportunity to play. The best game that he had, he rushed the ball 20 times for 59 yards and 2 touchdowns. He only had 3 touchdowns on the year. 59 yards was the most he rushed for. And if Joe Mixon made the Pro Bowl behind the Texans offensive line that was rated one of the worst last season, the Browns offensive line was ranked 20th, and that's the most that you could get from him. Now, listen to what you're about to tell me. Well, Sarge, he was coming off a major knee injury. No shit. I think I'm in long enough so I won't be demonetized on YouTube. No shit. He's coming off a major knee injury. So you got to give him an opportunity. All right, then. If he'd have came back and continued to play the whole season, I'd have been like, all right, you know, he may be ready to play in 2025. And then he broke his foot and missed 3 more games. So hold on, y'all. Y'all give me 1 second. Cause Larry wants my attention, and that's my guy, and I'm gonna give him my attention. Sorry, you're using all the media cliches about having seen the Caley offense and not sure about the line. Well, that's why they're not playing in June. And so, Larry, listen to what you just said. You said I'm using the media cliches. So is it not facts? Have you seen a Caley offense? Don't worry, I'll wait. What do you know about the line? Don't worry, I'll wait. We're in June. I'm talking about June. I'm talking about it right now. And I've said on a consistent basis that when I've talked about Nick Caley, I said, I don't know. I can't say that Nick Caley's going to be good. I can't say that Nick Caley's going to be bad because I haven't seen Nick Caley call a play. I don't know what Cam Robinson, Laken Thompson, Ed Ingram, Trent Brown. I don't know what none of these guys are going to do because I haven't seen them play in a Nick Caley's offense, and I don't know what a Nick Caley offense is going to do. We're talking about right now. So I'll take your logic, Larry, and I'll say this. So you may think that I'm being negative, and you're being positive. So what gives you the 100% proof that it's going to work, and what I'm saying at the 50% that it can't work? I'm just saying. No, Larry, no, hell no. I'm not letting you get away with this. I have seen an example of a Caley offense that has been used in LA and New England. No, you've seen a Josh McDaniels offense with Tom Brady. You've seen a Sean McVay offense with Matt Stafford. You've seen Sean McVay, one of the smartest, if not the smartest man to ever coach in the NFL. That ain't Nick Caley. You don't know, Larry, you can't say that you know what he's going to do. Nothing's 100, my yak. You don't know what Nick Caley is going to do because we haven't seen him call a play just yet. You know what? Hold on, Larry, I'm going to leave that right there. When Bobby first came in, everybody was bought into the Shanahan offense, right? And in year 1, everybody loved it. In year 2, they hated it. Bobby was a first time play caller. Nobody knew what he was going to do. Nobody knew what he was going to do. So I don't get it, Larry. Well, hold on. This is hilarious. Nothing is 100% except for 100% proof except my yak. That's hilarious. He has been in the coaching rooms with these offenses, so you say you can't learn without actually calling. Larry, I can go to the Mercedes-Benz dealership right now, walk in, test drive a car. Does that mean that I'm a Mercedes-Benz owner? Because I've been around Mercedes, because I've been around a Mercedes-Benz. I got a truck. Just because I'm in the look, Larry, I am in the room with athletes on a consistent basis. I am in or around athletes on a consistent basis. I can't hit a baseball. I can't play full court basketball, and I damn sure can't play no football right now. Hell no. We just talked about that on Sunday about my injuries. My injuries would not allow me to do any of those things. But I'm around. So does that make me the next? Hey, look, hell, I feel like I got the same chance as Nick Chubb. I digress. So all I'm asking is if this Texans offensive line is rebuilding, don't you think that they should just rebuild with what they have in a veteran and proven running back in Joe Mixon, and then help build up their next set of their next group of running backs? Let me give you an example. Last season, they brought in Stephon Diggs. Everybody was high on Stephon Diggs. Hell, I was high on Stephon Diggs. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, oh, they got Stephon Diggs. They're about to do some work. And then Stephon Diggs got hurt. And then he didn't even have an injury history like that. But then Stephon Diggs got hurt. And he was out for the season. What do you think the probability of a running back who has had just 2 years ago suffered a major knee injury and then is coming off a broken foot, who is 29 years old, playing in the NFL? What do you think the likelihood of Nick Chubb staying healthy for an entire year? Because I'm pretty sure that's what the Cleveland Browns thought when they brought him. Well, I mean, when he came off of injury reserve after having a knee injury in 2023. So in 2024, and then not only that, you're bringing him in. And listen, I know you just want him as a backup. I get it, but y'all acting like it's not going to take like training camp is not going to be long enough for this offensive line to make sure that they're gelling together. I'm sorry, not gelling together, but making sure that they have everything down that they need to have down. This training camp ain't going to be enough. I want to see some of these starters on the offensive line play in preseason, all 3 games. Then they got to get some game time reps as well. So we may not see what this Houston Texans offensive line is going to be till game 3. Because even in these preseason games, all you're doing is getting game time work, but you're not going up against like the defensive schemes and the defensive plans that these teams are going to throw at you. And so Cam had 2 Achilles and made it back for an entire season and did well. And like I said, hey, if Nick Chubb is coming in and Nick Caserio is looking to trade him, I believe that. I can believe that. So before I finish, let me go back up in here, y'all, because y'all know, hey, listen, for those of you all who are new and just joining us, we talk to each other up in here. That's why I pulled up Larry's stuff, but Larry ain't the only one that I talk to. I like to go in here and I like to look at these messages too. I like to talk to the supporters of the Texans Tailgate Talk, the supporters of Big Sarge Media. So that's what we do here. Hey, so if you want to say something, throw it up in the comments. We'll talk about it. What's good? What's good? What's good? Exactly. So let me jump down here. Why you're saying I'm acting like Landry Locker now? How is that? I don't understand what that. Hey, King Kobe, I don't understand what that means. Whose nickname is Batman? Texas Tangent, who nickname is Batman? Sarge sounds scared to believe. Believe in what? The facts. Cleveland offensive line was trash too, though. Sarge. Yeah, they were 20th. I think that the Texans was what, 31st? What is it? 32 teams in the league. I think they was what, 31st? Like the Texans had one. The Texans was below the Browns. Sure, my guy. The Billy Goat. Let him make it so. Let's see what he got left in the tank. Hey, look, like I said, I if I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong. Y'all know me. Those of you all who are on here on a consistent basis, you know I will. If I'm wrong, I will come right back here. I don't mind that the back and forth on social media. Hey, Sarge, you got it wrong. You're right. I got it wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, y'all better hold a damn parade for me in front of Discovery Green. Let's get the training camp, then we can evaluate where we see him in the rotation, but it doesn't hurt to bring him in and see what he got. Okay. Chubb need a change of scenery for sure. Yep. You got sideline. Sarah, good morning to you. The running backs in the room can't beat out a washed Nick Chubb. They weren't good enough anyway. Wait a minute, Sarah. Hold on. Hold on one second. And I looked at what you sent me. We're gonna discuss that offline. I'm talking about the footage that you sent me about Cam Robinson. Because semantically speaking, what you said about Cam Robinson, semantically speaking, yes. But if you look at that, there's a lot of other stuff going on too. We'll talk about it though. So if they can't beat out a washed up Nick Chubb, they weren't good enough anyway. Well, if you taken away some of their training camp reps to be able to work with like the second team offensive line or with first team, if you're taking away some of their reps, how do you know what you really have anyway? So I'd rather, if you're going, I'd rather see what Woody Marks is going to do. Hell, I want to see if what Damian Pierce looks like in this Nick Caley offense. Let's say ceiling can be Saquon, bottom is AP Lions comp. What Larry say? Everybody's getting chubby, right? If you know something is wrong with you. Oh man. I didn't say that. I did not say that. A healthy Chubb is way better than Damian Pierce. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on. What we got right here? Adrian Peterson. Exactly. He is the Black Panther. These skills. What's going on? Chubb is there for pass protection more than rushing, in my opinion. Obviously, they have no faith in Pierce at all. And see, these skills, this is what I want. Let me ask you all this and drop this in the comments. We keep saying they have no faith in Pierce, right? So if you don't have any faith in Damian Pierce, then work with what else you got, right? And if you're saying, hey, let's bring in Nick Chubb till we're able to get the rookie up to speed and Woody Marks until he's able to get up to speed, which is, and that's what sometimes this is the thing that I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. And this is not at UD skills. I'm just saying this in general. Like I said that in the video, right? There's evidence of me saying, hey, if they're bringing him in to be a mentor, I'm all for it. But people miss that part. People miss that part of me saying that. All they heard is Sarge doesn't want Nick Chubb. They don't listen to why Sarge is saying that he wouldn't take Nick Chubb. They're not listening to that part. All they're saying is, hey, Sarge don't want Nick Chubb, and that make him a hater. Some dude called me a hater this morning. I said, I'm sorry, you need a hug. Let me see what Larry had to say right here. Sarge, your opinions, yours. Now we all have them and can't be wrong. You're right. Chubby. I'm not calling a grown man chubby. That's like calling a grown man delicious. No, I'm not calling him chubby. Nick Chubb is low risk, high reward, and this is the perfect sign and place for that to happen. You know why? Nick Caley and Nick Caserio and Nick Caley are what? All about running back. I'm not. I don't believe it. What you got, LL Production? Cleveland had a bad offensive line during Nick's tenure at Cleveland. Don't forget that point. Well, wait. Hold on for a second. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, question. So, LL Productions. Cleveland had a bad offensive line during. So, well, when did he make second team All Pro? What year? I mean, I'm sorry. What team was he with when he made second team All Pro? J Max says we just don't know what that old line gonna be, and that's gonna be the question mark we have. That's my thank you, J Mac. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You want this running back that's coming in with the injury history and the age. You want this running back who has the injury history and the age to come in, and you're trying to evaluate and see what he got behind the rebuilding offensive line. Listen, I'm on the record. When I was on that other show that I was on, before I made Texans Tailgate Talk a podcast, and before I had it as a YouTube channel, make sure y'all subscribe. That's a shameless plug. But when I was on that, I am on the record by saying, man, I don't really know about these. I don't really know about these offensive linemen that they bringing in. You get rid of Shaq Mason, that's cool. It's time for Shaq Mason to go. You got rid of Kenyon Green, cool. It's time for Kenyon Green to go. You got rid of Laramie Tunsil, cool. You want to get rid of Laramie Tunsil? His run blocking was not the greatest at all, but he protected your franchise quarterback's blind side like no other. But you want to get rid of him? Cool. But if we keeping it a buck, and if you can remove your fandom, if you can remove yourself from being a Houston Texans fan and just be a football fan, which a lot of that's the thing that's perplexing me, because a lot of people on here right now and a lot of people on social media, I know that you're football fans. The evaluations that you have on other players, on other teams. Let me give you an example, right? That last year, 2 years ago. Last year, maybe it was 2 years ago. There were a lot of people that were giving their evaluation on Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. And y'all were spot on with what y'all thought that his season was going to look like. You were spot on what you thought that he would be. Spot on. Spot on. Because you evaluate him. A lot of you all's evaluation on Anthony Richardson was spot on. A lot of you all's evaluation on Aaron Rodgers, a lot of you all's evaluation on Russell Wilson. Now, I'm just using these players because I like there's a lot of people that I follow on social media that follow me, and I see a lot of their stuff. And when you all remove your Houston Texans fandom away, and then you all become football evaluators, y'all be on it. But then sometimes when it comes to your own team, you get blinded by the fact that this is your team, instead of saying, man, but is this the best for my team? Let me ask you all a question, right? Real quickly. You know what? I ain't gonna even do it. I'm gonna drink my coffee. Hold on for a second. And I'm just gonna keep on reading the comments. I'm just gonna keep on. Let me see. Let me see if I can get that. Low risk, high reward. Could be. Could be. It's a lot of bass in your voice right now. So hold on. D Skill says, hold up, I hated Bobby in year one, but it might have been personal. Just because you standing in the garage doesn't make you a car. I like that. Hold on. Larry asked me a question. Let me ask you this, Sarge. You're all around all those players, and it's perfect. And in this respect for me, I love all the question marks, but as simple as this is, Larry, can you ask me this question again and not use that name? Can you use his government name? I can't answer that. I'm not talking about I'm not saying that. Sarge, if you look at the Texans offense, off season, they have gone about making sure they have a backup to the backup to the backup at wide receiver, tight end, defensive back, and O line. Okay. I know Pierce can't pass block against a high school team, but not sure what else he did to get buried in the doghouse. So these skills, let me say this. Let me tell you what I've heard. It's so year one, when you had Damian Pierce in here. Well, I'm sorry, year one of Damian Pierce, and that was when the Houston Texans weren't really trying to win anything. We all knew that they were tanking. Um, but year one, the offense was real simple. They didn't want to make it as complicated. They didn't want none of that, right? They didn't want to make it complicated. So they were running a lot of basic things, and those type of basic things, as far as run schemes were concerned, fit Damian Pierce very well. Now, this is not, I'm not taking a shot at Damian Pierce's intelligence. Let me preface my statement by saying that. But when Bobby Slowick got to the Houston Texans, I don't know if you all remember this or not, but Damian Pierce made a statement that said, trying to learn Bobby Slowick's offense is like trying to read the entire Bible. That's verbatim out of Damian Pierce's that's right out of his mouth. And I'll never forget um when I was talking to Mike Boone. Y'all remember Mike Boone, the running back that they had in here for a while? I was talking to Mike Boone one day, and we were talking about Damian, and he said Damian is a good running back, but he has to be in a certain scheme. He says there's no shot. This is no shot at him. He says, but Damian Pierce is a good back, but he has to be in the right scheme. And I think, well, so what did the Texans run, y'all? They ran with Bobby. Excuse me. It was a zone blocking scheme, right? Which has a lot of cutback lanes. And he said Damian Pierce isn't a runner that is going to always look for a cutback lane because he seeks contact. And the more he gets hit, the stronger he gets. And if he gets hit, he knows that he's strong enough to bounce off and keep running. He said that zone blocking scheme allows for running backs who have good cutback skills, which Joe Mixon, I don't know if you all remember him saying this in one of his press conferences. Joe Mixon says, when I get to running, it's almost like I'm running in the dark. He said, until I see a light. And I know that the light is the hole that I need to be in. He said, the light is the space that I need to be in. He said, so I can get to running. And if I'm running to the right, I can see light back to the left side. So I can cut and get back there. And that's that zone blocking scheme. If I'm not mistaken, that zone blocking scheme is built for that. With Damian Pierce, his light is always in front of him. And this is what, like I said, I was talking to Mike Boone about this. He says his light is always in front of him, and he is looking to get through that hole and then do whatever he needs to do. He said, go back and you look at his rookie year. When he was running, he said there was a lot of times that there wasn't holes there that Damian Pierce made a hole, or he initiated the first. He got hit, and that first hit didn't stop him, and he kept going. So I think that a lot of that has to do with what Damian Pierce. What it has to be the run block scheme that will make him effective. Because there's some other offenses in the NFL that I think that Damian Pierce fits very well and could be very good in. I just don't know that Bobby Slowick system was not for him. And then that playbook was very complicated. So, dang man, I'm missing all this. Damn, his light is a yellow light on yield side. No, Larry. Chubb is mixing back up, and Woody Marks. No. AD, no, brother. DP can't play kick return. DP done it. Oh, what's up, AD? I didn't even see you in here. When you pop up in here, AD? There's no reason you don't bring in a talented player, period. Talent how? I'm now that you're here, AD, let's talk about it. He's talented. Okay, I get it. He also tore up his knee in 2023 and broke his foot 6 months ago. You know who was talented when they weren't able to play basketball anymore? Brandon Roy. Couldn't stay healthy. You know who was talented when they couldn't play anymore? Grant Hill. You know who was talented, but they just couldn't play anymore? Adrian Peterson. You know who was talented, but they just couldn't play anymore? Deion Sanders. You know who was talented who just couldn't play anymore? Terrell Owens. Like, I'm not questioning Nick Chubb's talent. Like I said, if you can get 75% of Nick Chubb, if you can get 75% of Nick Chubb from 2022, I'm all for it. But since we're talking about it right now, what is today? June what? June 9th, Monday, June 9th. We're talking about it right now. The injury history and the age trumps the talent for me right now. And if he gets it, if they sign him, he gets in the training camp. If he passes the physical, he gets in the training camp and he's able to do whatever he is he needs to do. I'll come right back on this show live. I'll bring you on, AD. I'll bring Larry on. I'll bring on 3-4 other people. We'll sit here and we'll talk about it. And I won't have a problem saying, hey, I was wrong. But there's no way that you all can sit here and tell me that the reason why I have these opinions based off these facts, the reason why I have this opinion that I'm wrong. You can't say without 100, you can't say 100% that I'm wrong. That's all I'm saying. Hold on. Who else is up? Showtime. What's going on? What you got, Showtime? Big Sarge, man. Hey, we'll talk about that. Hit me up on hit me up on Twitter. I'll definitely talk about that. H-Town's finest. Appreciate that, Larry. What he charging? What you mean charging? I don't understand what that means. Tapped out 713. What is Landry? What is Landry charging? I don't know. Larry says it's exciting because the Texans are going all in because they know they're supposed to get. Larry, let me tell you something. If Nick Chubb is 2022 Nick Chubb, hell yes, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I am all for it. I'm all for it. But June 9th, I'm not for it. I ain't going at 38, man. Yeah, Sergio. Hey, look, and Sergio, you're right. Everyone has an opinion, and I respect yours too. Listen, the one thing I just said this to Brandon K. Scott. Y'all know Brandon. Y'all know B. Scott, one of the best here in the city of Houston and surrounding areas. I just told B. Scott today, hey, man, I respect your opinion. I just disagree with it. And that is okay. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. It's okay to disagree with an opinion. Now, you can't disagree with the fact that he had multiple injuries. You can't disagree with the fact that he's 29 years old. But our opinions on what he could be differs. And that's okay. That is okay. Hold on. What you got for me, Kane? Kane San Miguel. I say our expectations are in line with what we think his role would be. I like that. That's a good take. That's a good take. Y'all forgot about 92-yard run by DP31 last against the Titans behind a bad line. You're right. What's up, Patton? Hey, Patton, you in here, man? Plug your show. AD do it all the time. Plug the show, man. Just throw it up in the comments so I can put it up here. There it is. I don't think Nick Chubb will fit because I want DP to stay on this team. Who said that? You talking about somebody else? Because I didn't say that, AD. How about training camp last year when he was always on the ground on touch drills? I think he could still shine here, though. Who? Larry. But if O-lineman get pushed into the backfield every play and the holes keep getting swallowed up, then whose fault is it? That's a good point, Larry. Got a good point. What's up, Lou? We gonna see. AD, stop. And the reason why I'm telling you to stop is because have we ever got the Henry Toa I'm sorry episode on H-Town Rundown? And you know that meme with that lady with the glasses? Hey, I'm trying to see what that one at, AD. Hey, what that one you was wrong about Henry Toa? When I told you was gonna be wrong about Henry Toa. You never put that one up. I'm still looking for that one too, AD. You think they should entertain? Oh, King Kobe. Thank you, bro. I got that written down right here. Thank you for bringing that up. Now, let's move on. Hey, somebody I do think that the Houston Texans should look at is Jair Alexander. Yes, I do. And the fact that Stephon Diggs isn't here anymore, so he ain't got to get into it with Stephon Diggs because they hate each other because of a... Sarge, this is the Texans tailgate talk, not buzzed and petty. You can't be saying that type of stuff. Stephon Diggs ain't here no more. Him and Jair Alexander do not like each other, and there's one particular reason why. We'll talk about that on the Buzz and Petty. But yeah. So I do like that. Real quick, let me hop in here. So anyone with the injury history, we got to pass on them. Injury history like he has, that's an older running back. That's an older running back. Yes. I would not. He tore up his knee. He messed up his knee in 2015. He messed up his knee in 2020. He tore his knee in 2023. And then he broke his foot 6 months ago. How long he been in the league? Didn't he have hurt ribs at 1.2? Like, let's... AD, come on, bro. Come on. You know I got way too much respect for you than for us to say with the injury history. There's different types of injury histories. Give me his injury history from 2023. Give me his injury history from 2024. We haven't seen him play good football in 2 years. Now you got to put everything. Oh, hold on. There we go, Pat. Now I appreciate that. Texans on 3. Texans on 3 podcast live every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Twitter, IG, and Facebook. They got some good stuff going on over there too at the Texans on 3 podcast. Man, I like going over there. Jair Alexander has an extensive injury history too, but he don't play running back. See, I think that y'all forgetting that touch of Trent. Jair Alexander ain't getting hit on the majority of the plays that he's in. And it's just different. It's just different. He plays a totally different position than what a guy who tore his knee up and who broke his foot. It's just different. Let me take that down. Marcus keeps saying Chubb is him, like I'm gonna change my mind. H-Town finds I like Chubb, but he won't be the same as everybody making him to be. His explosion has diminished. And please stop showing me these highlights from 2022. Please stop showing me these Nick Chubb highlights from 2022. I'm a Nick Chubb fan. I like Nick Chubb. Don't get me wrong. We're not talking about 2022 Nick Chubb. Y'all are showing me 2022 highlights of Nick Chubb because he only played in 2 games in 2023. And then in 2024, you're showing me the only game that he was productive in, and that was against the Steelers. 20 attempts, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns. But he played in 8 games. So show me the highlights from the other 7. That's all I'm saying. I think fans just be happy to sign a name. I said this on Sunday's podcast. Like, you can't keep running after every name. You can't keep running after every name. There's still some women out there that when they see Bobby Brown, they be like, "Ooh, Bobby Brown." I was like, "Hey, you see Bobby Brown? Have you looked at Bobby Brown? This ain't new edition Bobby Brown. This ain't my prerogative Bobby Brown. This old Bobby Brown. This Bobby Brown is down there about to pass out on stage, Bobby Brown." What you got for me, Sarah? How do you feel about a wide receiver with a bad injury history? With this logic, the Texans should give up on Tank 2. So, with that being said, right? With that being said, I'm 50-50 on that too, Sarah. And everybody knows I'm a huge Tank Dell guy. I like Tank Dell. I'm a huge Tank Dell guy. But that was a horrific injury that he suffered too. Now, it's 50-50 because I don't know if he's going to be able to come back and be the Tank Dell that he was before he got hurt. That could be you don't know. But you know what else though, Sarah? Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Tank Dell is 25, and he's probably going to miss this season. So that means he's going to get an extra season. It's going to be like him having an extra season on his body. Nick Chubb is 29, and Tank Dell doesn't have that injury history. Like, you can go back 10 years to 10 years ago when Nick Chubb got hurt. Tank Dell also doesn't have all that wear and tear, but the injury itself was so gruesome that I don't know if he's ever going to be able to be the same Tank Dell. I do believe that he will be an effective wide receiver. I don't know how much this injury will take away from his explosion, but I do know that he can still catch. I do know that Tank Dell can still run routes. And at his age, him missing a year, that's like getting how many extra snaps on his body? So you're talking about how long has Nick Chubb been in the NFL? In 2015, hell, in 2015, Tank was 10, and Nick Chubb was getting hurt then. 2015, 2020, 2023, 2024. So when you talk about bad injury history, that's why I said earlier, all injury histories aren't the same. And Tank Dell also doesn't play a position where he's going to get hit like a running back, like on numerous occasions. Tank Dell has to depend on CJ Stroud. He ain't really got to worry. He ain't running behind the offensive line. Only person he got to worry about is CJ getting him the ball. He ain't got to worry about getting the ball and then trying to escape from 2 or 3 men, 2 or 3 defensive players that's got into the backfield. So, I mean, I get it, but I I get it, but I don't get it. So when you say, how do I feel? I'm telling you how I feel. I don't feel like he's going to be as explosive as he once was. I do not, but I do believe that he could still come back and be a really good wide receiver. Also, he's not going to be hit repeatedly like Nick Chubb is going to be. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. My conspiracy theory is that they are signing Chubb so people can stop asking about CJ not throwing. Hey, D Skills. So I don't know how many of you, hey, if y'all didn't get an opportunity to catch me on Sports Sunday on KPRC, KPRC to Houston on Sunday night, man, my feelings are hurt. I need y'all to go back and watch it. Stream it. Go back and watch it. It's still available online. Go back and watch it. And I was on there with Randy McElvoy, who is the sports director of KPRC, and with Aaron Wilson, who is the KPRC insider. And so Randy asked about shoulder gate, right? And I said, if D'Amico is smart, and I know D'Amico is very smart, like D'Amico got street sense, common sense, and book knowledge. Go and look, don't go and look at D'Amico's football football stats when he was at the University of Alabama. Go look at his academic record too. Go look at D'Amico Ryan's academic record when he was at Alabama. He's a smart guy. So I say it on the show. If I'm D'Amico, I'm not letting CJ throw the first day because I don't want to have to keep answering all those questions on day 1 and day 2. So he's not, if I wouldn't let him throw day 1 and then he'll be like, all right, whatever. And then I'll let him throw on day 2. Then you could ask me all those questions because you're not going to talk to me again until training camp starts in late July. So if I'm D'Amico, that's exactly what I'm doing. Hey, look, CJ not throwing on Monday, but CJ will throw on Tuesday. Hell, I might even let y'all speak to CJ on Tuesday because there's no back-to-back days that you're gonna drive this thing into the ground. On Monday, I know how to answer the questions because I've already answered them. That's what I would do. That's what I said on Sports Sunday. Y'all need to go watch that. It was a good episode. Y'all can hear what I said about Woody Marks too. Broken fibula, shot in leg, bruised ribs to the point of missed game, dislocated kneecap, torn ACL, MCL, and LCL. Yeah, but Sarah, so I don't think he's going to be explosive. I don't think that he will have that explosiveness that he had. That doesn't mean he can't come back and be a good wide receiver. He still knows how to run good routes. He still knows how to catch. He may not be as explosive, but if you can still get some explosiveness from him, and he's not being hit like that on a consistent basis. AD, I'm sorry I have to do this to you, my guy, but you have definitely had better jokes than this. That was not good. It's not good. So you totally missed the explanation I gave. Or, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna call you later on today, and I'm gonna tell you exactly who you acting like. I'm gonna tell you exactly who you acting like. You know what? I'm about to start calling you by your government name because you acting like Texas A&M AD. You ain't acting like Prairie View A&M AD. So let me see. It's a good take. There we go. Why ain't this showing? Oh, my Wi-Fi is messing up. It says I'm surprised. There we go. I'm surprised Texans to take a look at J.K. Dobbins. I'd rather J.K. over Chubb if I had to choose. Mhm. What's up, Major L. the boss? Even with the injury history, will sharing the load by committee help Chubb and Mixon decrease the chance of future injuries? That is a good that's a very good take. That's a very, very good take. That could happen. That could happen. So, Sarah, since we're here, let me ask you a question. What do you want Nick Chubb to be then? We already know. We already said he doesn't need to be running back one. But just like I said on Sunday show, and I think that you were part of that show as well. So if you sign him and Joe Mixon gets hurt, then who do you expect to be the next running back to take his place? It's like you also like people have to think about that too. I mean, Joe Mixon got hurt last year and he had to sit out. So if you bring Nick Chubb and you all automatic people automatically put him in at the backup running back position, what happens if Joe Mixon gets hurt? Now you're depending on Nick Chubb, right? And you don't need Chubb to be RB1. Okay, so you don't need him to be RB1. You're gonna have him be RB2. Then what are you gonna do with the rookie? Where is he gonna get his touches? And to me, he's way more valuable at RB2. I'm talking about Woody Marks. He's way more valuable at RB2 than Nick Chubb is. Because Woody Marks can run the ball and Woody Marks can catch. Do a Zoom call. uh no way. All right, y'all. I really appreciate this. Yeah, I really appreciate you all joining me for the morning coffee. Hey, y'all want to do this again? Can y'all drop it in? Listen, if y'all drop it in the comments, we could do this again. I can do this. I can do this in the mornings. Well, I can't do this Tuesday morning. And well, hold on now. Hold on. Now. Let me not say can't. Because the Houston Texans have mandatory minicamp starting on Tuesday and on Wednesday morning, I think at 9:30. So I could probably come on here from like 7:45 to maybe 8:30. Like I can like there's a way that I could give you all a morning show too. But I don't know if you all would rather have a morning show or a Texans have. Hold on a second, y'all. Y'all getting the Texas happy hour this evening, cuz y'all getting a Texas happy hour this afternoon because this right here is from our new sponsor. Let me put that a little bit closer. This is from our new sponsor, Hall Family Estates. They say you can't buy happiness, but you can buy wine, and that's pretty close to the same thing. Hall Family Estates. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Tag them all in the post. That's Hall Family Estates Wine Company. This is our new sponsor. This is our new sponsor for the Texans Happy Hour. Lamont, I appreciate you taking the opportunity and I'm sorry. I appreciate you giving the Big Sarge Media and the Texas Tailgate Talk crew happy hour, Texas Happy Hour. Thank you for sponsoring the Texas Happy Hour. Look, y'all. Oh, this one. Look, see, so I'm not really big on red wine because red wine gets you drunk real quick. But this one right here, this one, oh yeah. So y'all make sure to come back this evening. We're having a happy hour. Oh yeah, we're having a happy hour, courtesy of Hall Family Estates. Ooh. Side note, hey, let me take this time out to say, man, it it warms my heart and it makes me really appreciative when somebody can say that, "Hey, Sarge, I see your vision, man. I see what you're trying to do. Not what you're trying to do. I see what you're doing. I see the work that you're putting in, and for somebody to put their company's name behind my company's name, and what I mean by behind, I mean to support. For somebody to say, "Hey, Sarge, we want to support you in what you're doing. We want to support you in and and doing everything you're doing over at Big Sarge Media, but especially, you know, taking the time out to make sure that the Texans fans have everything that you're gonna give them." And look, whether y'all agree with me or disagree with me, y'all know that don't bother me. I love y'all all the same, man. Everybody who shows up to this thing, people, if you listen, we're not gonna always disagree. I mean, agree, and I like that. We're gonna disagree a lot. We all have different opinions. We're human. I have no problem with you disagreeing with me, and I'm never going to get disrespectful towards you because you disagree with me. I'm not one of those guys. Not at all. I'm not one of those media members. I don't do that. We're all human beings, and everybody. If you find some, if you only want people to agree with you all the time, then you are a terrible human being. That's just it. Nobody can ever tell you that you're wrong. You are a terrible human being. I stand on that. But for the Hall Family Estates Wine Company to put their name behind that and sponsor that Texans happy hour, man. Oh, don't worry, there's a commercial coming. Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you all where you can uh uh where you can find where you can get this wine at. And for those of y'all, look, I think at one point we started out the Texas happy hour. I think we may have had just 30 people up in there. Now we can get a consistent 250 up in there of everybody just want to sit back, have a great time. And just like I'm doing this morning show, just like I'm doing this morning show right now, and we interact with each other, that's exactly how we do it in the Texans happy hour. Hell, we have fun. If anytime I click the go live button on here and you all come into this and come into this, come on to this platform and enter into this platform and take your time to spend your time with me, I'm going to always be appreciative of that. And I'm going to always make sure that I give you all, for you spending your time with me, I'm going to spend my time with you. Now, Sarge, how did you start off this damn show getting sentimental? Now you ending this show getting sentimental. And now with you getting sentimental, now you making those people who was mad at you, now they like, man, Sarge, I love you guys, man. I love y'all too, gang. Gang, gang. Ain't that what you say? I love y'all too. Gang, gang. I still don't think Nick Chubb is right for this team, though. So you could take that to the bank and tell them Beretta sent you. Hey, oh, one more thing. I got one more thing before I get about it. Just one more thing. I will go on record by saying this. Hold on. Oh, my bad. Hey, the Texans happy hour will be 5:30 Central Standard Time. All right. Y'all join me here, right here at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Texans happy hour today. Right. And hey, look. Oh, let me guess. Y'all think that because we talked about Nick Chubb 2 days in a row, that Sarge ain't gonna have nothing to talk about? Y'all know I got it. Look. Hey, well, what did Jay-Z? Did Jay-Z have a song like that? F for me, you know I got it. Keep content on deck. Always got content. I got something I want to talk about right now, but I'm gonna save it for the happy hour because then again, how we gonna have a conversation if not? I'm gonna tell you this though. Two things. Let me tell you. Hold on. Let me write this down. Let me tell you what I was about to say. I need, you know what? I got to start using my headphones. Now that I'm gonna wear my hat, I can use my headphones so I can hear my board. And when I use my board, I can also, we can have, that's the call in function. Hey, look, real quickly. Let me say this. Hot take alert, hot take alert. Woo, 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 woo. Even with Nick Chubb in the fold, I still think Woody Marks is going to be the backup running back. I still think so. I don't think Nick Chubb's going to move the needle enough to be able to remove Woody Marks from that second running back position. I don't know if Dare or if Damian Pierce. The, Woody Marks is going to have a terrible training camp in order for him not to get that backup running back position. That's my hot take. I got him being the RB2 on the depth chart heading into the regular season. If he doesn't have a bad training camp, let me make sure I say that and add that in there and have that on record, because you know AD will come back. So you said, let's go ahead and make sure that we got this thing together. Why do I have those shoes like that? That's the first thing. Now, hold on. If Chubb turns out to be good for the team, you got to interview. I'm gonna interview him anyway, regardless. Regardless, I'm going to interview him no matter what. So, that's logical. All right. Second thing, when we come back for the happy hour. This USC connection, right? This Kalen Bullock, this Jalen Smith, this Woody Marks. That's real interesting to me. And the reason why it's interesting to me, because you're looking at how they went. Like I'm starting to wonder, and I really want to ask Nick Casario this, or maybe when I do my exclusive interview with D'Amico Ryans. Hold on for a second. Hold on. This me flexing. Hold on, let me my shirt off. This me flexing. So when I do my exclusive interview with D'Amico Ryans, you know, the second one. I did one last year as well. I think I'm gonna upload that to the Texas Tailgate Talk. This is me flexing. So when I talk exclusively to D'Amico Ryan before training camp starts, I'm sorry, y'all, I just had to flex. When I talk to D'Amico Ryans, I want to ask him. I want to ask him, when you all are drafting these players, and when you're going to get these players, like, how are you all are getting a lot of players from like the same schools, and what is it that you see, or what is it that you're looking for when you go into these type of institutions and want these players? I mean, okay, we already know, look, it's a given with Alabama, right? Hey, you got you went before D'Amico got here. I think they had John Mechie, they had Christian Harris. You know, they came from Alabama, but then they, you know, drafted Will Anderson Jr. They got Henry Toa. Hell, they still got Irv Smith at the tight end position. Like, going to a school like Alabama is a given. But how do you get three wide receivers out of Iowa State? Like, what were you looking for, or what was it about that program that made you say, okay, so we drafted Xavier Hutchinson, which by the way, some people forget Xavier Hutchinson was All-American. And now we're looking at Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. And you're like, okay, I understand Alabama, but then you went and you got those players from Iowa State. And now you're pretty much doing the same thing with USC. So we're probably going to touch on that at the happy hour because there's some things that I need to know, but there's some other things that we need to talk about too, right? There's some other things we need to talk about, like what role is EJ Speed going to play on this team? Where do you see EJ Speed being able to play for the Houston Texans? And that's if Christian Harris comes back fully healthy. Damn, they lost Neville Hewitt too, didn't they? Sheesh. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you subscribe to the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast, all one word, and available wherever you get your podcast from. And make sure you are subscribed to the Texans Tailgate Talk YouTube page, and make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because we do everything for the gram. Senior Boble, you're right. They're building a program off Kirby. Exactly. Big Sarge, I'm out.
Big Sarge.